Okay, this tree here behind me is Fraxinus pennsylvanica, or green ash, right here on campus. And how do we know it Fraxinus? So let's talk about how we know it, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the natural history. So this week we are learning compound leaves. So first thing, if you're trying to identify a leaf, is to look for the bud, right? We can see a bud right here and one right here. So if I detach this, right, we all know that leaves are attached below the bud. And so this entire structure is the leaf. So we know that we have a compound leaf because it has more than one leaflet, right? So it has leaflet, so that makes it a compound leaf. And then another notable thing we're talking about this week is leaf arrangement. And so if you look at this, you can see that the other leaf was attached down here. And this is opposite, right? So there's two leaves attached per node. Now while we're here, I want to show you that green ash has a very distinctive bud, and this is true of white ash as well. So it has a central pointed bud that is ridged, that kind of looks a little bit like a Phillips head screwdriver, with two lateral buds on either side, and so that makes the whole thing look a little bit like a brown Viking helmet. So that might be how you know ash. But compound leaves that are opposite, there's not very many of those. And it is in the Oleaceae, or the olive family, which has lots of opposite-leaved trees and shrubs. So looking at the leaf, we have this central rachis, or stem, that holds the leaflets. And you can see that the number of leaflets is not diagnostic in green ash, but the fact that the underside of the leaf is greenish and not whitish might lead you to green ash. That's kind of a tricky character to know. But I also like looking at the scar, the leaf scar, where the leaf was attached. So you can see on here there's scars where the leaf was attached, and it's hard to see close up here, it's not focusing exactly right. But green ash has a flat top, so the top of the leaf scar is flat and the bud is attached above that. For white ash, the leaf scar is U-shaped, so it's kind of not a pretty strong notching. The other thing you can do is look for habitat. So I'm down here near Rocky Branch Creek. Fraxinus pennsylvanica is a wetland tree, right? So it really likes wet areas, whereas white ash is more of an upland species. So that's something that you can keep in mind as well. And then lastly, I want to show you a fruit. So this is another really important diagnostic character for understanding the difference between white ash and green. So let me get this where you can see it. So green ash has a smaller samara, so the fruit type is a samara. It's a seed with a wing on it. And the seeds themselves at the bottom, the part that I'm holding on to is where the seed is, and it is very long and narrow and pointy. And the wing is attached all the way down along that seed. So the seed is pointed and it has leaf tissue all around. And so here's another one. Again, look how pointed that samara tip is. So that's a true character for green ash, right? You can't go wrong if you have fruits. It's very easy to figure out. And then lastly, let's talk about the bark. So this is a mature tree bark, and you can see it's got a little bit of a yellowish cast to it. The other thing that I think is important about all ash, and this is true of white or green, is that the bark varies as you go up the tree. So if I angle this up just a bit, you might be able to see that some of the, yellowish ridges are flattened as you go up the tree, and then others are more prominent. So that kind of variability in the ash bark is something that's very diagnostic and very helpful for knowing that plant. So white ash is an important species for wood use that is very hard, dense wood, but also fairly lightweight. So if you like baseball, right, this is the traditional wood use for baseball, is very, very hard. And it's also used on a more limited basis in flooring and cabinetry, but not something that's grown specifically for that purpose. So it can be used, but it's not something it's important for lumber in certain industries, for bats, which is, most bats are aluminum now. And also used on a limited basis for flooring and other lumber uses. So that is white ash and how to know it.